So it's another glorious day here at the Chateau, and we're on with the final jobs on the front so we can get the scaffolding down and see how good it's all looking now both sides are done. Now the windows are in for this side on the 401 suite when we can start work on that. The last job we need to do is to get the brackets in for the shutters, so when we eventually get around to restoring the shutters, they're all sorted and the shutters can hopefully just hang straight on them. On the other side there was about 5 that had rotted away and needed a bit of work. Part of the bracket was still in the wall because it just rusted away, so obviously I've just been chipping away to get back to the granite just so we've got a nice clean opening. And luckily in France they still sell all of the brackets, so we've just been able to buy some standard brackets that we can sort of adapt to fit in obviously what we need. The ones that are already on, you can see a little bit, they have like a slight sort of curve to them, so they come straight out and then they fold back, so obviously a bit different from this. But on the last ones, I found the best way was to cut the end part off, bend it to the angle that we need, and then open it back up so we have this V shape, so when it actually goes into the wall it's got a decent anchor. And we've got some proper adhesive that'll go, obviously it goes rock solid and it's designed to hold against stonework, so that'll be brilliant. So like I said, what I'll do first, now we've got all of these holes cleared out, I think there's about 5 on this side as well. There's 1, 2, 3, actually I think there's only 4, so it won't be too bad. So I'll be able to get these cut down, get them in place, and then once they're all set, I'll be able to give these ones just a coat of the white paint, and the ones that are already in, we'll put some rust beater paint on them just to protect them, and then we'll be able to go over with the white paint as well. So I will crack on now, go and cut this down and see if we can get the first one in. now I've got all of the brackets cut. They've all turned out really well, to be honest. Obviously the curve on them is pretty much there, and obviously they fit in the hole, which is good. I only needed to do 4 as well, which wasn't too bad. So yeah, but next step that I need to do is obviously get them anchored into the wall properly. Now each of them are all different, obviously the height of them. This one I'm missing one on each side, so on the other side, when I've done on the other side of the chateau, what I've done is I still had one like set to go with, really, so I could get the height that they needed to be. Unfortunately this side, obviously I'm missing the top one here and I'm missing the bottom one on the other side, so I'm gonna have to sort of make it up, really, and then when it comes to putting the shutters on, we'll just have to adjust it with whichever way we can, which I think they've done before, because the one below me, they've had little washers on just to lift it up to get to the right height. So I think we might have to do that later on when we decide which shutters go on here. But all I'm going to do to anchor them in, obviously I've cleared all the holes out now. I did have the adhesive, which is like a resin for stone, so that would anchor them in properly. I was going to put that in, but the obviously time that I've got to put in it, I've only got probably about 5 minutes to play about with it. So once I get it in place, I've only got 5 minutes to adjust it and get it exactly where I want it. So I've mixed up some sand and cement, so I don't know if to go ahead with that, which I did with the other side, and anchor it in. And then I've got some slate, which I can use to sort of level it up, because they need lifting up a little bit from where they are, so they don't sit like completely on the bottom, they sit a little bit higher up there. So putting the slate in, that just makes it, obviously I can get it completely level, and then I can, with the sand and cement, I can adjust, like if I'm needing it further out this way, further that way, further up, further down, and get the angle exactly the same as the one that I've got down the bottom. So I think I'll probably go with the sand and cement. Done a stronger mix with it, because it just gives me a lot longer to work with, really. And then yeah, go from there. So what I'm going to do is, I've got some water, I'm just going to put some water in here, just wet it all down, just so the sand and cement's got a decent key to the granite stone. Once I've got some in the back, I can push this in, so it's going to jam right the way in there, and then I can put the rest in. And then once it's all gone off, obviously because it's got the V shape in, it won't actually be able to pull back out. So fingers crossed it all works out. So I'm going to crack on now. I've got one to do up here, then one on the next level, and then I think the other ones are on the level below. So yeah, I'll get this one in. and that's all the hinges in. Wasn't too bad, to be honest. So I've just started to guess the sort of height on some of them, but like I said earlier, this one, they've clearly had the same problem because they've put 3 washers on there. So I think until we get the shutters sorted and see where the brackets are, then we're not going to know. Obviously the shutters, it's not like we can even say, oh well, that one's gone here and that one's gone there, because a lot of them had been taken off prior to us coming here. The ones that were still left we have labelled, so we know exactly where they're coming from, but they still had the brackets on anyway, so obviously we didn't need to do anything with them. But all these ones are done, so now we can leave those dry. I've done it a bit shorter with the sand and cement. Reason being is once that's dried, I'll just be able to chip away at the slate, so that'll just be flush. Obviously it's given the support now, but then except the slate will just come away anyway. And then once that's done, I'll be able to paint this, and then I'll be able to render right the way up to it, so the paint's gone behind the render as well, so it protects it all properly. And then the render will just match in with the rest of the stonework. So yeah, it's been obviously a good job. It's these sort of little bitty jobs that like you put off because there's just massive jobs to do everywhere else, so you think, oh, I'll do that another day, I'll do that another day, and you never sort of get around to doing it. But yeah, they're all done now, and it makes a massive difference. I think on the other side we weren't going to bother doing them, but I said to Mum and Ash obviously about getting them done because it will make a big difference, and once they're painted, they don't have, you notice them straight away. So yeah, glad they're done. So I'll leave those dry now, and I think Mum's busy doing a bit of the garden area, so let's see what she's up to, and then see if she needs a hand getting some other bits done.
So, first week in October and it's mid-20s, there's not a cloud in the sky, perfect weather for being outside, it's absolutely beautiful. So this last couple of weeks we've been on with just beautifying around the chateau, around the cottage, just trying to get it somewhere that's easy manageable for the long term, because trying to get in and out of here, trying to mow it, trying to just stay on top of it is starting to become, it's an ongoing task, it's a weekly task, and we're losing a day a week just trying to stay on top of little bits for maintenance. So right now we've had a couple of plants put in here. I think you'll have seen Susan do them a couple of weeks ago. She got a couple of nice little plants, moved some plants that weren't suitable here, and Tracy's gone around, she's put her nice weed matting down and covered it with bark as well. So again, it's just for ease of use, just for maintenance, just so that we can actually look after the place a little bit better. And while we've been on with this, you might have seen in some of the videos we've had a red carpet laid down here for the last few months. The one thing about it is the best weed barrier we've ever used. So it's killed everything off here, it allows us to see the path. And as we took it up, there was some little bits that needed to be redone. So Tracy's been hard at work, digging as usual. We can't stop her. So she's dug out the ones that were really badly broken and disorganised and up and missing, and she's relaying a new path down here. So Tracy's been getting on with that, and again, it's no mean feat. It is. These were put down hundreds of years ago, so trying to get them out and put them back down again to make it look as nice. She's done an amazing job there. And then Terry's been on with the window catches for the shutters. So we've got all them in place now already. So when we do eventually get the shutters back on, which they will be going on, it won't be anytime soon. It'll be in the next couple of years. That we'll hopefully just be able to slot them all back on and we'll be good to go. So it's been a good bit of work. I've not been in this video. I've been out and about again. I had to go and pick family up. So we've got Adam, Celine, Joel, Ian and Zach here. And they're going to be here helping us for a couple of weeks. They've come over from Canada. They really enjoyed it. But it was May last year that since they were here. So they've come back 18 months later and the change and the difference is just absolutely unreal. They can see it all. So I'm going to go and crack on. I'm going to go and get the rest of the wall garden finished because we're still digging that out as well and relocating the soil. There's work going on in Butterfly Meadow, so I'm going to go and do that. See you soon.
If you'd like to be part of our journey and help restore the chateau, then please join us on Patreon, where you'll be part of our journey, receive a piece of the history and get exclusive videos.